Alright, I totally skipped going to bed, and it's after midnight. I checked my docket against the church, and still nothing. So yeah, she officially is gone, although I'd also Google searched her, saw that she was handling an arson case on February 6th, so that was kind of strange. But it would have been big news if the firing got reversed, but I've never been notified. So instead we'll make this a comment replies. I've gotten behind. There's 10 held for review, and of course we've got immediately recognizable Mormon abuse. That's why I did the video. Mormons are shocked that they're evil. But here we have Jomo Tree, which I'm sure that's a legitimate person without a picture. And he says, I wanted to watch this, but listening was not easy to do. Too much pausing and slow talking. Sorry. This is not a professional channel, guys. Can't you figure that out? I'm not in a studio. I don't have professional equipment. I don't have little fun things that I can put on the screen for you. I'm still trying to find out how I can do that. I really want to do that. That would be awesome. Not just pictures, but also videos. Oh well. But so it's abusive on your part when you come at me and say I'm not professional. So ban. And here we have oh my hell. This spam. Stephen Henderson, a Mormon name. The LDS church members believe in the same Jesus that suffered and died for all sins of the world. Yeah, that's the problem. That's not the Jesus that you're supposed to be worshiping, Stephen. That's how far away the church is taken from Joseph's original organization. And so he's just preaching to me. Yeah, he's going bye-bye, but I'm gonna skim over it, see if there's anything that I can mock him for. That's the fun part of holding these for review. There's a guy who came up with a what he calls a theory for the Book of Mormon being in North America. I told him I was going to stay away from him, but he came back the other day saying that he had done a video lecture during coronavirus, and so he sent me a link to it. And if I wanted to, I could actually go through it, critique it, and do what I already said I would have done. Because I found out the Book of Mormon is not an actual history. It was taken from Solomon Spaulding's book. And so if it's taken from Solomon Spaulding's book, Solomon Spaulding is the one who would have used the particular geography for the fiction narrative of his text. And so this other guy who's wasted his whole life, because he's an old man, on this research, he claims. It's pathetic. let's see, outer darkness of hell reserved for Satan and fallen angels, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're so smart with Mormon doctrine. Yeah, this is all Captain Obvious stuff. This comes to an inheritance, just like a king passing down the king. Wait a minute. We receive our glory based on what we have done here on earth. This comes to us as an inheritance, just like a king passing down the kingdom to his... Yeah, that's why in the temple, Stephen, you are a king and a queen, high priest and high priestess. They sort of leave out the high part, but that's understood, because it has to do with the Melchizedek priesthood. So again, he's just preaching. He's going to get banned. The crown of life is referred to in James, blah, blah, blah. This incorruptible crown. Are you familiar with the apostasy, Stephen? What happened to the crown? It was corrupted? That's why it's called apostasy? So, and here, Mormon Obvious Utah News Update. It's just some things you just want to bang your head and go, my God, the stupidity. Crown of rejoicing, crown of glory, crown of righteousness. Oh, are you preparing for a talk once coronavirus is over with, Stephen? Are you the elders' quorum teacher? Is that your high and holy calling in this life? That makes you feel special? I teach in the elders' quorum, and I know that it's my calling in life. My dad, this is where I get it from, my dad bought himself a scanner. They finally invented scanning, and he bought himself a scanner. And so he was able to take the damaged pictures from the flood in Rexburg at my grandparents' house, his parents' house, and other pictures that he was able to obtain from family members, extended family members, and was working on several different genealogy books. And he literally said, as I was nearby, this is my calling in life. And he was serious. He thought his life had been fulfilled because he was able to scan pictures into a digital file to make books. And at that point in my life, I'd already deciphered Paleo-Hebrew, I'd deciphered Egyptian petroglyphs, and had discovered that the Bible came from the Egyptian petroglyphs. But if he wants to claim that that's his mission in life, more power to you. Let's make sure we get context here on this before I go into a full mock. This is all a higher level of teaching the different crowns. Yeah, I'd say it's a higher level. You're definitely high. That not all members of the church fully understand, but they are Christians that believe in the same Christ. Is that the Trinity Christ? Or is that the son of Adam Christ of Brigham Young? Which Christ is the same? It's just mind-boggling how people in the Mormon church think they know it all, think they got it figured out, and they don't, and they're just humiliating themselves, and they don't even know they're being humiliated, because this guy's going to be banned, so he's never going to find out from this video, unless he goes to my channel when he's not signed in. My God. So yeah, bye-bye. That was just a waste of space. And so here's an abusive guy, Ryan Rigsby. He puts an LOL at the end. Oh, so I'm going to take you serious. Is that what I'm going to do here, Ryan? Why do I even care, he asks. There is literally thousands of other religions, beliefs out there. LOL. Yeah, I'm no longer affiliated with the church. And Christians have been drooling, hoping that they can convert me. Wrong. And so when they ask, I tell them, I believe in the origin of religion. The Egyptians. So yeah, it's not out there though, Ryan. I have to restore it because it's extinct, it's dead, it's gone apostate. All the different religions out there are just de-evolutionized versions of the Egyptian. You know, the broken bread. Where do you think that comes from? It's in remembrance of the body of Christ which was shed for them, for us. I don't remember the gospel Jesus getting his bones and body parts severed from each other. Don't remember that. I remember him getting whipped, a crown of thorns, which was actually the solar crown. They made it thorns instead to go along with the theme of mockery. But yeah, I already belong to my own religion. I've had to restore it myself. So the problem is that Mormons are who I grew up with, and they're the ones who will not leave me alone. I can't live my life. I was disappeared by the church because they would not leave me alone. And so when I stood up to them, they said, "Screw you, Travis." Gone. Disappeared for 6 years. I got out, and they still won't leave me alone. And why? Because I'm a translator. And they don't want that. Because I can expose them. And all they had to do was just leave me alone. I would have gone on my own merry life, being delegated to no office whatsoever because nobody wanted to give me one because I'm a translator. I'm a troublemaker. Literally, they made a troublemaker file for me. 36434. That's the number of the file. So, unbelievable. And here we have a subscriber who's Mormon, and yet she subscribed to me. And she's the one who's dominating the number of comments. And so we'll report spam for call. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, she saw the polygamy video, but then commented on polygamy with my Judge First Washes Hands video. So I know she's seen the polygamy video. So Christina, you say, how is the Mormon Church going to bring back polygamy with a stupid lockdown by the U.S. government. With coronavirus, I'm assuming. When is the Salt Lake Temple going to be finished? 2024. And what happens on that conference weekend? Or after it? I think it's on the Monday. Saturday is the 6th of April that year. And that's expected to be the date for the rededication of the Salt Lake Temple. And so I'm expecting that the church is going to have a very special, solemn Hosanna shout moment with the rededication and at the Salt Lake Temple. And they planned this because on Monday, total solar eclipse of the heart. Yep, that's the other one that crosses America in southern Illinois, Little Egypt. And that's the symbol of the Illuminati, which infiltrated the Scottish Rites, which infiltrated the Confederates in the South, and then infiltrated the KKK, and then infiltrated the Nazis, and infiltrated the GOP. I did that in the Mormon hate video, explaining that. And so, yeah, like I said in that video, they lay in wait to attack. They are trained hunters as such, and so they have guns, and they go hunting with animals during the particular seasons. We just had one, as I mentioned in that video. And so they know all about waiting. They're in position of power, so they can wait. There is no immediate pressure for them to act or respond. But I did notice with my lawsuit that they were panicking and were preparing to flee as a backup plan. So they don't have to worry about it anymore. Judge first fled herself. So, yeah, it's just a waiting game. They've planned this for 2024. The coronavirus is likely to last until 2024. Don't be surprised. You know, you guys got to watch 1984. In 1984, they have an infinite war with this other group of people that is only known by television. That's how they deceive. So I'll comment to Christina on this one. Salt Lake Temple is being rededicated on 6 April 2020. 2 days before the total solar eclipse on Monday, the 8th. So I mean, they've been taking their time. Nelson, when he first got in, the first conference, did away with the high priest group. Because you have to be a high priest in order to be exalted. So you have to shut down the high priests so that only the elite in the church become leaders in the church to become high priests in the church. And then you have the marriage law, which then he went later and changed the temple text for the endowment, where he changed the law of chastity, which I showed in the video that she's commenting on. And that also, according to Brigham Young, is what is necessary for exaltation. 10 virgins. And so, who gets the 10 virgins? High priests get the 10 virgins. Elders don't get the 10 virgins because they're not worthy yet. See where we're going with this? Now, what's the coronavirus doing? Who are the target of the coronavirus? The elderly. Those who are high priests. See what they're doing? Because if they don't have coronavirus, all the high priests who got grandfathered or getting grandfathered out of the church and when they die are still going to be around in 2024. That's just 4 years. But if you kill them off now during this waiting period time, all you have left are the rich elite leaders who are already in the position, and then the remaining Mormons are the ones that you say, you're the most faithful because you survived, but only leaders become high priests. And with a smaller number of people, you see where we're going with this? And I'm expecting a war between now and 2024. They're pushing for it. They want us to starve. And what are we going to do when we starve? We're going to commit crimes to steal food. And that's exactly what they want, is for us to kill each other off as we hunt for survival, when the people that we need to target are those in positions of authority and leadership. But people don't think rationally when they're starving. And so, I'm fully expecting a physical war to break out, to again kill off more men, because the majority of women don't get involved in the physical violence of a civil war. Women are more likely to be the nurses during that time period. But if they can kill off the women who like to be warriors rather than submissive nurses, I'm sure they won't mind. And so then as a result, the creepy old men in the church are the ones who will get all the women. And the elders will be told, you cannot be sealed to a woman until you become a high priest. I can fully see that coming. Making that change. God wants me to get enough sleep. And here I am as 20 minutes to midnight. So now she's, okay, this is a reply to my reply to her comment about the problem. I cannot find okay, this is her comment to herself, because I didn't comment on this. The problem, I cannot find a Mormon man to marry. Are you sure? There's a bunch of them here in Utah. What do you mean you can't find one? Go talk to your bishop. They're in your ward. If they're not in your ward because they're all married, try the stake. Go to the stake president. Say, are there any single men in our stake? There you go, you found one. And I still expect men to be sweeter to me. Yeah, because she's not been treated well, even though she's been a faithful Mormon. Another woman who had been Mormon for, I think, her whole life, was saying that she was having problems just like I have been, as she has had death threats herself. The Mormon man does not want to marry a widow. Oh, you've already had a man. Now you want another one. Well, as long as you didn't kill your husband, you'll be fine. It's just sad, though, to lose someone you love. Alrighty. But, yeah. The question, I'm going to get personal with Christina here. The question you need to ask yourself is, what are you looking for a man for? If you believe in the church, you're already sealed to the guy who has died, your husband who has died. You're still sealed to him. You're going to be with him in the afterlife according to the Mormon theology. So the question that you're beating around the bush with is why pursue another man? There are reasons to pursue another man, don't get me wrong, but in the Mormon religion and theology, what is that? For my grandfather, when my grandmother died, he had no interest in marrying another woman, but he did get lonely, and so he married his secretary because she was Catholic. And he thought, well, Catholic, it's not going to be an eternal marriage. It's just somebody to keep me company, and we're good friends. We work together, and blah blah blah. And so he thought that would be just fine until they got married, and the religious differences caused problems in the marriage, and they got an annulment. And then he came to did he come to Utah and hook up with Patty? She died a couple years ago. I saw that when I was looking for my parents, if they'd died, the other day. And yes, I am not talking about a certain event that occurred just the other day this past week that I will not talk about it. Yeah. So is it that you're looking for somebody to have companionship? Is it someone you're looking to have sex with? Is it someone to financially take care of you? What are the reasons for looking for a man? And in the church, it's different than other religions and other people in the world. And so ask yourself, what am I looking for another man for? So, because like I said, you found them. There's plenty of them. Okay. Don't want to marry a widow like me. Yeah, well, women don't want to marry a divorced man like me. Because women in the Mormon church think that it's a sin, and that I am guilty somehow, somewhere, and in some way. And then when they get married and then get divorced, their whole viewpoint changes. Their standards change, which again should tell Mormons that standards are their own creation. Am I on the side of Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and MZ? Well, I have no clue who MZ is. This was my Mormons in full rage for vengeance against me. I'm not sure exactly what she's meaning by this, unless I was talking about my plans for a charity. No, I'm not on the side of Bill Gates, in the sense that Bill Gates is getting interviewed lately, talking about how he would start up the government, doing it his way rather than the way the government is currently doing it, or states are doing it. But no, Bill Gates, his donations are petty cash to him, so he has no interest in humanity. He's not a philanthropist as he wants us to believe he is. Elon Musk is the same way. He's just in a rich elite. The cartoon on Showtime called Cartoon President, Our Cartoon President, had Elon Musk with the Facebook guy and one other guy, probably the Twitter guy, or was it Amazon? Yeah, it was Bezos. And they were mocking Trump, who Trump thought, he's a billionaire, and they're real billionaires, and so yeah, they were just mocking him and all that, and they got him to take off Chuck Todd's finger, and poor Chuck Todd. But yeah, I have no idea who this MZ is. But yeah, no, I'm not on their side. I'm on my side. Just like I had to restore an ancient religion so that I can have a religion, likewise, I have to restore, design the law of consecration, because the church isn't doing it. So I'm just going to delete that one. And then our final one, you are being screwed, the government cult. Missing a word or two there. Coronavirus is a big fat lie, said David Icke. Science is a lie. Oh my God. Oh dearie. You are being screwed, the government cult, by the government cult. So she's a coronavirus truther. Christina, did they not have you do a science fair project when you were in grade school? Did you understand the significance of a science fair project? Was what you did just a big fat lie? Because that's what you're saying about coronavirus when you say science is a lie. Stay away from David. He's a deceiver. The government's trying to kill us, so I'm not on the government side either. And like I've been telling everybody on my videos, the Illuminati wants to perpetuate science over the Christian Dark Ages, the Catholic Church and Christian Dark Ages, because that's all it is. It's a Constantine created God that was specifically designed to not exist so that people can be suckered into following him. And so you get that Stephen guy who is just perpetuating that fraud from Christianity, saying, oh, we all believe in the same Christ. No, you don't, because the Gospel's Jesus has been overlaid with the Constantine Jesus, because as I discuss, it's almost 1 o'clock. As I discovered with the Bible stories, both Old Testament and New Testament, they derive from the Egyptian glyph stories and translations. And it's not that the Bible or the Egyptian stories came from the Bible, because the Egyptian stories are far older, by millennia older than the Bible. And so Constantine came out probably just after the time of the creation of those texts. We still don't have original documents to verify, but Catholic Christianity assumes so. And again, you can't assume, but you can identify anachronisms, or is acronym? Anachronisms. One of them is where you take the first letter of a word and make a combined word, single word from those. The other is where you can identify the dating of a text by the cultural application in the story that didn't exist at the time the story is claimed to have been written. So, tennis shoes among the Nephites is popular among Mormons. All Mormons probably know about that book series, whether they've read it or not. To claim that there are tennis shoes among the Nephites is an anachronism, if that's the right word I'm using. I'm just going to call it anachronism for the rest of the video. And so, if you read a text in the future, it talks about tennis shoes being among the Nephites, who were 2,000 years before the invention of tennis shoes, then you know that the book was written during the time period of when tennis shoes existed. And that's what an anachronism is. And there's a ton in the Bible, because it was written far later than the actual story or the actual events in the story that was being written. And so when you have Christians and Catholics interpreting Jesus of the Gospels as Constantine's God, then what they are saying is that the Gospels were not written until after the Nicene Council. So are Catholic Christians wanting to do that? No. They want it to be a history, a real history of the real Jesus at the time of Jesus. Well, sorry, you can't impose Constantine's created God then. That's the dilemma that Christians and Catholics face with their scriptures, is because they're purposely interpreting their scriptures based upon later pronouncements, later interpretations, God being the most obvious one. And so science helps with this. Real science. Not what the church did when they had an organization pay some people who claim to have science in their background or education to come out with a study where they show that medical marijuana is bad for people who need it. just in time for the midterm vote for Utah for medical marijuana. That's not science. But the local news, they love that kind of stuff. All studies show that women can't eat chocolate. You can't shower because it causes cancer. And then it changes the next month when studies now say it's okay to have a shower. Oh, good. I've just been doing it my whole life, hadn't gotten cancer yet. But that's the whole thing I tried to talk about in the other video, is that if something is known to be wrong, if you tried the theory and it didn't work, like the light bulb. Did he do it on the first try? No. It took him a number of different tries. He had to try different ways and different systems and processes to try to figure out how to get a light bulb to work. And that's what science is about. And for religion to say that that's just fake and a big fat lie, people don't understand. We have our clothes that we wear because of science. We have our food that we eat because of science. We have our language that we speak because of science. We have our economic system because of math science. We have our calendars because of astronomical science. Seeing the big picture here. Life is science. My physics teacher would correct me and say physics is life from high school. But physics is science. And so E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times acceleration squared. Well, I guess that's times. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'm not going to upload this until tomorrow, or today, later today. And so, please, people, understand, science is good, but the Illuminati wanted to force science to destroy Christianity and murder people, murder Christians in the process, to force people to give up their God. And I can understand, because Mormons, they refuse to give up their God, just like Christians refuse to give up their God. So how do you get them to deny God? You threaten their life. You put the fear of God in them, so to speak. But that's just pure evil. If we train people from their youth to pursue truth, then they will denounce Christianity. They will denounce the Mormonism that is being perpetuated. And you can still have a religious belief system, because as I've pointed out, the origin of religion from the Egyptians was about life, about having sex. I would tease the woman formerly called my second wife about that, saying that the scriptures are all about sex, dear. Get people that are paranoid about anything to do with sex, thinking that sex is even a 4-letter word. S-E-X, 4 letters. See, that's why it's important to have math science, so that you don't miscount the number of letters in the word sex, thinking it's a 4-letter word. So please stay away from David. I just looked up his Wikipedia page and I knew that was more than I needed to know. I want nothing more to know about that guy. So just stay away from him, Christina. Alrighty, I'm going to delete that one too. Alrighty, so I'm going to go to bed. I'll miss my run as a result. So, yeah, I'm getting so I need to go to bed. Alrighty. I'm seeing Stephen Colbert's cartoon character talking about hallucination, and he's got a stick of dynamite that's lit and ready to blow. Alright, don't drink bleach.